Hello, and welcome back to this new video. Today is, finally, the second part of my Alpha Guide to Solo PvP series. So, yeah, as promised in the last video, well, the last part of this video, I am gonna cover skill points today, or most things you need to know about skill points and skill plans and all that stuff, because it's the basis of everything in EVE. And without skills, well, there's not much you can do. So I'm going to talk about a few ways you can get skill points. So, yeah, let's get right started. Just one last thing before we start. Don't forget that I am organizing a tournament, which is in exactly 1 week from now. And, yeah, there is also a new guy bracket. So if you're an alpha watching this, no reason to back down. You can definitely join us still and have fun on this tournament. Or even if you don't want to participate, you can just come there and watch, and I'm also going to stream it. So yeah, I hope to see you there. And yeah, now let's proceed with skill points. The first and probably most efficient way to get skill points at the beginning on a new account is use the 1 million skill points you get gifted from CCP when logging in through a recruit a friend link. And they changed this about a year ago, so even accounts that already are created can still claim that 1 million skill points, of course only once per account, but you can still claim that. And to do that, you just have to find a recruit a friend link somewhere. Lots of YouTubers have them in the description, which is also where I'm going to put mine, but there are tons of links you can use. There are also people in Cheetah always spamming them, and if you already have a friend playing EVE, use theirs, because it gives you both advantages. You get the 1 million and they get something as well. So if you have a friend that you want to support, or who invited you to the game and you want to say thank you, you should definitely use their link. How to use the link is the next thing I'm going to show you. Well, you just have to go to the internet site. There you go. And if you do not have an account yet, you can create an EVE account here with your email address, username, and password. Download the game, and then once you logged in to EVE for the first time, here in your unclaimed items, you will find the 1 million free skill points. I already claimed them for this account on a different character, so in the time between my first video and this one, I used that time to skill a bit of engineering skills, so I am even pretty much with people that claim the 1 million skill points right now. Yeah, that's how you do it if you do not have an account yet here. But if you want to still get the 1 million and you already have an account, you can click down here on the login to become a recruit, and then again you just your username from your account and the password, and then once you signed in, you will once again receive the 1 million skill points into your unclaimed items in the game immediately. Usually only takes a few minutes. Sometimes when the server is a bit overloaded, it takes until next downtime, but usually it's updated rather quickly. So that's the first and most efficient way to get skill points. Of course, I am not suggesting to use expensive cerebral accelerator boosters or skill injectors in this video, because new players don't have the resources to buy those or use them. So yeah, let's get to the second most efficient way of earning skill points as an alpha, except for, well, just letting your skill queue go down through time. And that is the Career Programm, which also came into the game about last year. And here you have 4 directions: Enforcer, Explorer, Industrialist, and Soldier of Fortune. So basically PvE, exploration, mining, and PvP. And if you click on these, you have lots of little tasks you can do, like for example the career agent missions, and you get point rewards for completing these missions and a few ISK. And for some of them, like this one, you get expert systems or skins, ship crates, stuff like that. So yeah, and then once you have 750 points of one kind, you will get 100,000 skill points, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's 100,000 skill points here. and you can pick whatever tasks you like security agents, if you like to, if you prefer to run missions. But if you are already signed up in Factional Warfare, you can do the loyalty points one, for example, because 300 loyalty points are quickly earned in Factional Warfare. Or Abyssal if you like that. PvE bounties, you know, it's not that hard, and you can do it with pretty much any ship. You can already do some of these tasks and get skill points rather quickly. Then you can do that for 4 kinds, of course. For exploration is scanning mainly, and project discovery, hacking, and navigation is also quite nice because it's just jumping stargates, and you can do that rather quickly by just jumping back and forth with an MWD frigate. And yeah, then industrialist, you can do some quick mining missions or just take a venture out and mine a bit. And Soldier of Fortune, that's actually the hardest, I'd say, because electronic warfare and PvP encounters are the hardest, at least at the beginning. But Factional Warfare, for example, you can join Factional Warfare, capture Factional Warfare, complete a level 1 Factional Warfare mission, and run scout complexes, when to attack and when to defend. It's not easy, but it's doable, and yeah, especially this one is quite easy. Lose 20 ships, because you can just buy 20 shuttles and then get a suspect timer and undock in one of the trade hubs, because there are usually people around that will kill you over and over again. So you can just get into the new shuttle, undock, new shuttle, undock, new shuttle, undock. So just with this, you can in like 10 minutes get like 200 points already. So you can quickly collect points, and then 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 skill points like that. Plus, the overall progress, you also get 50k skill points for the first milestone, 75 for the second, I think. Yeah, and then 100,000 and finally 125,000. So with all of this, you can earn a total of, quick math, 750,000 skill points. So just with this, 750,000 skill points quickly earned is a lot, like, really a lot. And these skill points get immediately activated on your character, and you get them here by your unclaimed, well, unused skill points, and then you can apply them to skills you want to, or just save them up in case you want to spend them later. So that's the second most efficient way to earn skill points quickly. And then for the third and final way, this is the opportunity window, which is very new, and you get daily goals that you can complete, like earn 50 LP, scan 5 signatures, mine 2,000 units of ore, or capture a Factional Warfare complex. There are many more missions like this, but there are always 4 picked. There can also be like produce an item, or deal damage to another capsuleer. Some are better, some are worse, but basically if you complete 2 a day, you get 10,000 skill points. And if you manage to complete 2 missions a day for 12 days in a month, you get an additional reward that you can see here. And that is 1,500 Evermarks for the first milestone, Skinner stuff for the second one, 8 million ISK for the third one, and finally 75,000 skill points, just as an alpha. Omega rewards right now, because it is an alpha guide, not the Omega guide. So over a month you can earn like this 10,000 skill points a day, so 10 times 30. Wow, that's even more than I thought. That's 300,000 skill points a month. I just had to double check because I was not sure if that's correct. Plus the 75,000 skill points bonus reward. So that's again 375,000 skill points per month that you can regularly get. And it is not a one-time use like the Career Program, for example, or the 1 million skill points. You can get that every month just by doing these missions. But of course, some of the missions are harder, like earn 50 LP for any corporation takes longer than mine 2,000 units of ore, because 2,000 units of ore, that's like 2 cycles in a venture of feldspar mining. You can do that in high sec in complete safety, but earning 50 LP, you have to do 2 or 3 level 1 missions for that. So it really depends on the day. But as I said, you need only 12 per month. So if you manage to do more, you can earn up to almost 400,000 skill points, but with the bare minimum, you still get about 200,000 skill points per month without too much work. So that's really worth it. If you are really new to the game and you do not know how to complete these missions or which ships to use, I would like to encourage you to message me either through the comments of this video or by sending me an in-game mail to my character, Frigates on Fire. And I would like to help you out with some fits or even help you with the career program, because, for example, the Soldier of Fortune has some things like webbing someone or target hitting someone, and I am always up and around to help new guys to just be a target that they can target paint or web for 300 seconds so they get those rewards. So please do not hesitate to message me and ask for help, because EVE is a social game and I'm very happy to help you out, and with fits or, well, directly by being target practice. And yeah, then finally, just a quick thing about some fits I have prepared, so you know where to skill towards to. So first of all, I have this skill plan that I have in my biography of this character, with the very basic skills that are useful for every character. Not important which starting race you picked. These are very important, very useful skills for any character, and I strongly suggest that you start with this, because it's just very useful. And in total, this skill plan, it takes 1.5 months about, but it is really worth it. In my opinion, it's way better than charging headfirst into the best weapon systems, because yeah, EVE is also a game about patience, and if you manage to have the patience for 1.5 months, your overall performance in every part of the game will improve drastically, like really a lot. So this is super worth it in my opinion. And but yeah, what to skill after that, that's why I have this fits prepared, which are, in my experience, the best starting fits for newer players. I will also put these in a pinned comment so you can find them. They are meant to be rather cheap and still quite effective, well, if only with T1 fits. This is a Nutrition, for example, which can be very strong even as an alpha, because 50 gigajoule energy neutralized is 50 gigajoule energy neutralized no matter how good your skills are. It hurts. It really hurts the enemy. That's why I have the Nutrition. The DPS are bad, but that is not important, because these fits are not to outbrawl the enemy, but to win with E-War and smart usage. So that's the first fit I have prepared. Then this is the second one, which has even lower DPS, like terrible DPS. But this is just Orbit 500 and Outtrack the enemy. And again with a Newt, that really hurts. So again, really nice fit. Then I have the Crucifier for the MR, but I am not using lasers on this, because the Crucifier does not have a damage bonus, as you can see here. So it doesn't matter which weapon system you fit on there, because you don't get a bonus. You can just take what is best suited for you, and in my opinion, autocannons are the best for the Crucifier, which has actually the best DPS so far, with 63, which is quite nice. And yeah, the Crucifier has a bonus tracking disruptor, so it has an even better tracking disruptor with minus 35 tracking speed bonus without any skills on my end. So again, really nice. And finally, my personal favorite, the Condor, which is also the most skill intensive, because the DPS are not too great on this. But yeah, again, Orbit 500 and win, because tracking disruptor plus AB speed and the Newt really helps a lot. So these fits are not very skill intensive. You see, in 2 hours I could fly this fit and go out and there and get PvP kills. But that is well, your bases. And then these are the improved fits. It's basically the same, a bit more expansive and more skill intensive, because in this case I have T2 drones, for example, and it's still the same, but it is more powerful because it is T2 partially. And these are all about 14 days to 1 month of training. So here's the slash rate this time with T2 guns, 14 days training, but it's way better overall, more speed, more DPS, way more DPS. And yeah, then the Crucifier, which is the most skill intensive, I'd say. It's almost 1 month, because you need T2 drones and T2 autocannons, but the main DPS part is usually the drones. Let me double check. Yeah, the turrets actually deal more damage than the drones because of the gyro stabilizer, so you can still go with T1 drones and still have good performance, and then without T2 drones it's only 14 days of skill time. And then finally the T2 Condor with Culinary Navy Scourge, or let me actually take Rage for the damage bonus. So again, 60 DPS, not too bad, more speed, and yeah, so this takes as well 26 days, because missiles are harder to skill for, but in my opinion the best weapon system in EVE, and really, really worth it to train for. So again, this is your well, your goal, your end goal, kinda, and you can skill towards these. So I will again put them in the pinned comments so you can find them, and you can check them out and start skilling towards whatever you prefer out of these 4 fits. Of course, you can also use others, and there is a different way of getting PvP kills very early, and that is kiting. Because kiting is, in a way, easier and harder at the same time. It is harder to survive, but it is easier to pilot, because, for example, this Executioner, it has a tracking disruptor and beam lasers, and if you use standard on here, the DPS is quite good, considering it's T1 guns, about 5 million, but you see the speed is very, very high, and if you overheat this, you go up to almost 5 kilometers a second, which is crazy fast. And with this fit, you just have to keep at range at about 20 kilometers, and then overheat your guns, and hope for the enemy to slowly die under your low DPS. So kiting is in that way easier, but of course if you get caught when sliding in on someone, and they manage to shut off your MWD with their scram, you are not able to survive this. And for this fit, you see, you don't only need these skills, but you also need an additional power grid skill, and for this you can just use energy weapon rigging, because this decreases the power grid usage of this specific rig, or you can exchange the rig if you do not want to spend the extra skill points, and then you can use something like an additional cap rig for more cap. Let's move on to the second kite that I have prepared. This is the dual tracking disruptor Condor, which is super, super strong, but the DPS is really low, and the range is also not too great, only 22 kilometers, but of course missile application is way better, so you will always hit, guaranteed, even if the Executioner doesn't always have the best tracking. Then the Breacher, which is basically the same as the Condor, but it has higher DPS, but a bit lower speed for that. And finally the Maulus, which is really evil, that it has the worst cap. But the Maulus has a sensor dampening bonus, so anything that has less than 80 kilometers lock range cannot lock you when you are sitting at around 20 kilometers. And this also has really, really nice DPS. So this is the most evil fit, I'd say, but you can't use these sensor dampeners at all times because cap is really an issue. Just a few things I wanted to say to the Executioner, because in the first video where I used the Executioner I talked shit about it, and I just wanted to clarify, I do not like the Executioner as a brawler. I do not think it's bad as a kiter, but as a brawler it is really not my favorite ship, because it doesn't have the speed or the DPS or the tank to outperform other ships in its class. So just as a kiter, I think it's a valid option, but not as a brawler. That's why I have the kite fit here ready. Yeah, and I think that about covers all that I wanted to talk about. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. And I hope you learned something useful. And again, if you have questions or anything, please let me know, and I'm happy to help you. And yeah, finally, in the next video, we're gonna talk about ISK making methods, which is what you can already do while you are waiting for your skills to finish, and that is make big ISK in Faction Warfare. And then once you have the skills ready, you can buy PvP ships and go out there for your first kills. So hope to see you in the next video, and have a good day. Bye bye.